All right, this is about a complaint. I've just remembered this. Years ago, for some reason, I ended up treating a lawyer, and she was a very high-flying lawyer, absolute nervous wreck, which I was recommended to her because I was quite good with anxious people. She was clearly anxious. Anyway, I can't remember. I did a root filling for her. Now, I didn't like using spiral fillers because they used to break, but I certainly used to put some GP down there, a nice long point. But almost certainly I didn't use rubber dam because I can remember the 2 patients that I used rubber dam on in my career. Anyway, that's a different thing. Anyway, thank God she moved away. She went to London, and this would be about 20 years ago. I got a phone call at work, and she said, you know, Mrs. X, I can't even remember her name. She said, Mrs. X, she's on the phone. She wants to talk to you. I thought, oh, yeah, anyway, speak on the phone. And she says, remember that root filling? And I thought, oh, hello. She says, well, anyway, it didn't work. Right? This is like at least 5 years later. It didn't work. She says, anyway, I had to go and see a dentist, and he referred me to an endodontist. And he said, what you did was dirty. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, he said it was dirty, and he's had to redo it, and it's cost me £700. I don't think it might not be quite that much, it's 20 years ago, but it was a lot of money. And I said, well, that's a shame, isn't it? He said it was dirty. Yes. And so, you know where this is going. And I said, oh, I said, well, did he tell you about the crown you're going to need now? And she says, what do you mean? I said, well, if he's done a root filling like that, you know, generally what you need after that is a crown, and they're more expensive than root filling, so I'm afraid you're going to have to save up for a bit more. Anyway, the argument went away. But it was interesting, wasn't it, that she'd had it done on the health service. And with the best will in the world, I always tried my best. More recently, with the advances we've had, my nurse said to me, Tony, we don't get any failures. Now, to the side of this, I've shown you some failures. The one you can see, right, that was the one patient I referred to a specialist endodontist. And for a while, I used light speed. For a while, I used thermofill, hypochlorite. You'll see all the references. But really, with endo, back in the day, they generally come back a week later saying it's aching. And I used to give them antibiotics. Oh, no, I'm sorry. What can you do? I should have been giving them, you know, anti-inflammatories, but Jesus, honestly, some of the things we do, you should be doing endo. It's so easy now compared to back in the day.